Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here to celebrate Lauren and Owen's special day. I'm Adrian, Lauren's dad, and I feel like I'm the proudest father in the world right now. I'm sure we all agree that Lauren looks amazing today. I'd like to extend a special welcome to Owen's family and friends, especially his parents, Louise and Greg. In Owen, you've raised a hard-working, intelligent and caring young man, and I'm delighted that he's now officially my son-in-law. It's been over 10 years now since Lauren and Owen got together, and I first knew something was going on when, after years of raising Lauren as a Manchester United supporter, she sent me a picture of her in a Chelsea shirt. Yeah, all right. Well, Owen, if nothing else, at least you have a wedding to celebrate this year. Jackie and I know how lucky we are to have been gifted with someone as special as Lauren. She has brought joy to our lives from the minute she was born. It's been an incredible journey watching her blossom into the wonderful person that she is today. She's never stopped making me smile, and I'm incredibly proud of her, which is about the last thing she'll say to describe me if she sees me on the dance floor later. Lauren's middle name is Iniki, named after a hurricane that hit Hawaii in 1992, right on the day that Jackie and I were due to be married there. Our plans were disrupted and we were moved to another island, but Hurricane Iniki didn't stop the arrival of Lauren a year later. A hurricane in her own right, a hurricane of fun, laughter and mischief. As a little girl, Lauren loved animals, particularly dogs and horses. She begged me to sponsor a dog. And so we visited Dogs Trust and adopted Henry Ramsey. I'm not sure what type of dog he was, but he seemed friendly enough, and he was ours for weekend walks. Even though it's been years now since he went to his kennel in the sky, I'm still receiving daily emails from Dogs Trust wanting more money. As we know, Lauren's travels continued professionally as she began working in the travel industry. I was delighted when Lauren trained as a flight attendant, and after working at Monarch for a year, she fulfilled her ambition to work for British Airways Worldwide Fleet. Now she's sending me pictures of her climbing the Sydney Harbour Bridge, visiting elephant sanctuaries in Africa, and swimming in fancy hotel rooftop pools in Singapore. I couldn't be any happier that she's maintained a desire to explore the world, and even better that she's seen so much of it with Owen. Seriously though, Lauren, I want you to know that you've brought a world of happiness to me, your mum and your family. I'm prouder of you than you'll ever know. I couldn't be any happier for you and Owen today. The years just seem to have flown by, but now I'm looking forward to the next chapter of your life with Owen as your husband. And I'd like to say to Owen that you're every bit the man I hoped Lauren would meet. I can sleep well knowing that she's in safe hands. You don't need any advice from me, but I do think I can offer you one top tip. And that's if you're looking forward to watching the Chelsea game in peace. I always found that a bag of Marks & Spencer's Percy Pigs will keep her quiet for at least the first half. And finally, for those of you coming to see Emily and Luke's wedding, well, visiting Emily and Luke's wedding next year, do me a favour and forget everything you just heard. Okay, so let's all be upstanding and raise our glasses to Lauren and Owen. Lauren and Owen, health, happiness, and Percy Pigs.
Thank you, Adrian. Very nice. Fucking, I'm shitting myself here. Right. Actually, I'm going to have some swig of my hip flask quickly. Right, here we go. Right, guys, I'm just going to start my speech by setting expectations nice and low for you all, as I'm far from a comedian or a public speaker. In fact, as I'm sure you'll agree, Lauren, I'm a man of few words. I'm also terrible at communicating how I feel. The peaks of my emotional language are usually a shrug of the shoulders or a slight change in facial expression now and again. So this is the perfect combination, really, for a speech to all of you guys about love. Brilliant. I have practiced a little bit, so hopefully it goes okay. And sometimes I forget to breathe when I'm nervous, so if I stop at any point, it's because I'm basically breathing, or Lauren's just stabbed me under the table with a knife or fork or something. So yeah, firstly, my wife and I, we want to say a massive thank you to you guys for all coming today. I know many of you have come from a really long way to be here and kind of taking time off work and stuff, so we really appreciate you being here. Family and friends are such an important part of our lives, so to have you all here to celebrate this special day with us means the world. We hope you all have a great day, enjoy the celebrations, eat and drink plenty, and let's see how many of us make it down to breakfast tomorrow. The next thing I'd like to do is thank all the bridesmaids and groomsmen. Thanks to you all for the help you've given us today and leading up to the wedding. Big thanks to Mills and Emily for arranging an amazing hen do for Lauren. When she got back, one of the first things that she actually said to me was, "It's the best holiday I've ever had in my life." So it's great given that I wasn't even there. Brilliant. And so big thanks to Danny as well, and for being my best man, and to all the groomsmen. You arranged a class few days for my stag do. It's never easy trying to organise that many piss blokes and trying to move people around, so you smashed it and did a cracking job. Thanks for not shaving my head or anything mental like that as well, that's good. Other than kind of alcohol shakes, a few sleepless nights, and no voice for about a week, I came home fairly unscathed, so very kind of you guys, thank you. But no, Lauren and I both made some really lifelong memories on our stag and hen do's, so thanks for you guys again. So the next thank you I'd like to make is to our parents, so mum and dad. Thanks very much for always being supportive parents. When I was writing this speech, I was reflecting back on childhood a bit, weirdly. And my first thought was, I've no idea how you actually still speak to us, because we were little twats growing up, really, weren't we? We were, to be honest. Let's be honest. But no, looking back, I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. Thanks for giving me and Lauren so much love and support over the years. We wouldn't have been able to experience the amazing journey we have so far without you both. Turn page. I also want to say a massive thank you to Lauren's parents. Thank you for welcoming me into your families so warmly and being so kind, generous and loving to Lauren and I. You've been a huge part of our journey so far, and a huge part of today, so it's an absolute privilege for me to marry your daughter and be part of your family. Now on to the most important part of the speech. You ready, Lauren? Got tissues ready? So, my beautiful wife, Lauren. So you look absolutely perfect today. Honestly, walking down the aisle was absolutely amazing. So to give you a bit of a background, Lauren and I got engaged a little over 2 years ago. And since then, Lauren has spent the last 2 years meticulously planning today. She's come up with colours, themes, ideas for decorations, bridesmaid dresses, designed and printed everything herself. She's planned everything to the absolute detail, and she's had many sleepless nights worrying about it as well. Things like wedding admin that she needs to finish, what decisions she still needs to make. So I think we can all agree that she's absolutely smashed today, and has done an absolutely amazing job. So thank you very much. Now I know what many of you are thinking. I can see it on all your faces. How on earth has he pulled off marrying such a stunning bride? It's punching well above his weight. Yeah, I know. Well, the truth is, I have absolutely no idea. I'm as shocked as you guys that I'm now married to Lauren. Mental, to be honest. Particularly if you saw the state of my hair when we got together. Jesus. It was so bad. All I can say is I hope you never get your eyes tested and my jokes don't get boring ever. So, but yeah, Lauren and I have been together since our late teens. We met when we were in sixth form. Lauren had a huge sweeping fringe across her face. Could barely see her eyes through the fringe. And she was wearing Abercrombie and Hollister clothes from head to toe. And then there was me, a stick insect looking bloke with a tiny little pinhead. And Sonic the Hedgehog looking hair as well. As I said, I think she's slightly blind. With all those good looks and charm, I finally managed to win Lauren over. I'm still confused to how I managed it, to be honest. It's my idea of flirting to get Lauren's attention was to jokingly nearly crash my car into her in the sixth form car park. What I hadn't realised is that Emily was in the car as well, and she wasn't happy. I think her words were something like, "Who's this dickhead?" or something along those lines. It's probably worse, to be honest. Anyway, it seemed to work, and since then we kind of spent our time cruising like Bonnie and Clyde in my kind of banged up Peugeot 106, blue with kind of great music, garage anthems and all sorts playing. And after many trips to McDonald's, Nando's and cinema, we fell in love. And our journey since then has included some amazing memories and milestones. Lauren achieved her dream of flying the world as an air hostess. I went to uni and trained my liver and maxed out a couple of overdrafts. Lauren and I were lucky enough to make some amazing memories on our travels. And we both also pretty much moved back in with my mum and dad, thanks again for that, to save up for a house, which was nice. We moved in together, where we lived for 5 years now. We got engaged, I turned 30, fuck my life. And now we're here on this special day with you guys. I'm so grateful to have found someone who I can laugh with every day throughout that journey. Whether we're laughing at something dumb one of us has said or done, usually Lauren, or Lauren's 5 minutes of madness after dinner when she acts like a cat on catnip, dancing around the lounge giving herself whiplash to usually like Drake music or something like that. The fact we laugh so much together is a huge part of our relationship. I also feel so lucky to have found someone with such a kind heart. Lauren's always worrying about making sure others are okay before herself. I always joke and say she's kind of did the in sickness and health part of our wedding vows many years ago, given she spent so much time looking after me after trips to A&E from football injuries and having a really dodgy back, let's be honest. So it can't be easy, but you've always shown how much of a caring person you are to me, your friends and family. Oh, you cried. But no, finally, I just want to say that I'm so lucky to have found a best friend who's the most thoughtful and stunning person I've ever met. I can't wait to continue to laugh together every day, build a family and share the rest of my life with you. I also can't wait to see your spaghetti arms in the air later on the dance floor. And add to my famous collection of photos of you hungover, which is always fun. And I'll share them, don't worry guys, they'll be everywhere. I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage
as a sign of our marriage
and a symbol
and a symbol
of my love and commitment.
of my love and commitment.
I'd like to place the ring on the
Doesn't that look nice?
Right, Danny, would you give to Lauren the ring for Owen? Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Wedged in there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, so put that on the tip of his chosen finger, support his hand,
Isn't it?
and say, I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage
as a sign of our marriage
and a symbol
and a symbol
of my love and commitment.
of my love and commitment.
I'd like to place the ring on for
There we go.
Owen.
Get it on there. My chubby knuckles.
I'm sure you'll get to see those beautiful rings later on
go.
today.
Thank you, O. Well done, Adrian. Great job. So I believe there comes a time in everyone's life where they meet their one true love, their soulmate, the person they're going to know and cherish for the rest of their days. For Owen, that moment came 18 years ago when he met me. My name's Danny. It's an honor and a privilege to be stood here as best man today. Owen's one of my oldest friends, and I'm not just talking about how much he loves to moan or how temperamental his back is. I'm talking oldest in terms of the length of time that we've known each other. Let me give you some context. So, I moved down to Billingshurst midway through year 7. I didn't know anyone, but I did know how important it was to slot into the new social hierarchy at just the right point. See, when you're the new kid, it's tough. You got to get off on the right foot. And there's only really 2 ways to be seen as cool. You can be naughty or you can be sporty. Since detention wasn't really my idea of a good time, the only option I had in my quest for social survival was type 2, sporty and cool. So I remember early on, I brought a little football in my rucksack with the intention of kicking it around at break time, showing some flair and turning some heads. Kicked it around with whoever wanted to play, and as the bell went, over strolled 2 kids. One of them, Andy Barr, and the other with this confident come arrogant swagger that I'd really never seen before. Who is this kid? Why is the collar on his shirt turned up like that? What does he know that I don't? This was, of course, a young Owen, whose introduction to me, something along the lines of, you should come to training tonight. My dad's the manager and I'm the captain. Anyway, I turned up to training, ran around like a maniac for 90 minutes, desperate to impress. So much so I was actually sick on the side of the pitch. Greg, you'll remember that. Yeah, it was grim. But it earned me a pat on the back from O, who said, we've got a game on Saturday, if you fancy it, mate. I guess I'd entered the new social hierarchy at just the right point. Made a friend. From then on, Owen and I, we were fairly inseparable, and we quickly discovered it wasn't just football we had in common. We liked the same music. I still can't hear an old school R&B or garage banger without thinking of you, walking down the road, collar turned up, blaring it out of the Sony Ericsson. We were suspiciously enthusiastic about local fairs and bonfires. Turns out it wasn't really about supporting the local community, more so the thrill of taking turns to pinch alcohol from our parents' cupboards to take with us. Sorry, Louise. Sorry, Greg. Drinks on me this evening. And as we began to mature, perhaps the thing we had most in common was a blossoming interest in girls. I'd describe our relationship in those pubescent years as competitive but collaborative. I definitely remember a couple of occasions where that shared interest was in the same girl, but we never let one come between us, and it really felt like we were figuring out the new hormonal landscape together. We'd listen, give often bad advice, learn from each other's mistakes, and celebrate the wins. Although, it has to be said, at times it felt like you were playing chess while I was playing checkers. I put most of it down to the fact that you had two older brothers, and so you must have overheard some secrets of seduction that were far beyond our years. However, Owen did have one trait that just had to be an innate God-given gift. Owen's ability to talk on the phone for hours at a time to girls was unmatched. See, we'd have sleepovers fairly regularly, take turns to pick the evening's entertainment. Anyone who knows Owen knows he's always been a massive fan of science fiction. Not really my bag, but I'd contest that fiercely. But then we were in Billingshurst, so obviously Owen had the connection at the DVD shop. Glenn worked there. And invariably, I'd find myself sat on the floor watching Star Wars again. I actually wouldn't have minded so much. A couple of them are all right films, except in the background, there'd always just be Owen whispering sweet nothings down the phone. It's actually the reason I didn't stay over last night, mate. I know as best man I probably should have night before the wedding, but I couldn't handle watching Attack of the Clones again, and the risk of the nostalgia of a sleepover leading you to be whispering down the phone to Lauren all night. I've read it's terrible luck for the groom to speak to bride the night before the wedding, so we just couldn't risk it. Roll on the college years, and for me, these were our finest hour. I really felt we began to master the flirtatious craft, and our peers, they shared the sentiment too, giving us both an award at Levers for bridging the gap between our year and the year below. Fast forward 12 years, and that award truly feels vindicated, as I am stood here celebrating by far your greatest romantic achievement, marriage with Lauren from the year below. And what an achievement that is, because at the start she was having absolutely none of it. In fact, I recently asked Lauren, as a question for Mr. and Mrs., a game on the Stag Do, who fancied who first? And her reply all these years later was the same point-blank answer it would have been in 2011 too. He fancied me first. But, you pursued Lauren like you played football. You were tenacious. You were hard-working. And you definitely weren't afraid to get stuck in. And man, was that graft worth it. I mean, look at her. Lauren, you look absolutely stunning today. You really do. You have an infectious laugh and a fun-loving way that I'm so glad to have known for so long. You're kind, but honest. And that is an authenticity that's really hard to find in people. And the way that I most usually describe you, even to your own dad on the Stag Do after a few beers, is just as a wonderful, wonderful human. A perfect match then for my old mate O. You, sir, are equally authentic and endlessly loyal. Still somehow wise beyond your years, although those years are catching us up now. And even now, if I needed some advice or someone to celebrate a win with, you'd be at the very top of my list. Together, the two of you have taught me one of my most valuable lessons. And that's what true love looks like in the modern world. You overcame distance during the university years, taking turns to visit back and forth whenever Lauren wasn't away with work. And I remember at the time feeling proud but confused at how easy you made it seem. If I were a gambling man, I'd have gone all in on the two of you making it to this day, and now we're here. I literally couldn't be happier for the two of you. So yeah, I'd like to propose a toast before I get emotional and before Glenn wins the sweepstake. So if you can grab a glass to two of my oldest and dearest friends. And to the newest married couple I know, to a lifetime of health, wealth, and happiness together. Please raise your glasses for the new Mr. and Mrs. Martin. Woo!